just thank you for coming on and spending the time today. Just to let everybody know, we've got Israel Edmonds Jr. on. We found him through social media, following us, and I was just so impressed with your stuff. I really,
I appreciate that.
No, you have a special energy, that dream, believe, what I'm all about, what this podcast is all about. You're about your family and your friends, and you motivate, and you have you inspire, your compassion. It's just really cool, and your beliefs and all that. I really was very, very impressed. So I want to just, I'm humbled to have you on today, and I want to thank you for spending the time with us.
Awesome. Thank you so much for having me. It's a pleasure to be here, just to share.
Yeah, sure. Cool. Yeah. So tell me a little bit about, what you do and what, just give us some background on Israel Edmonds Jr. and what you're all about. Yeah.
Cool. Sure. It's funny, George. All morning, I'm like, how am I going to start this out? Because I'm just one of those, I guess, I do, I talk and I work my way through the room. I never meet a stranger, so I'm that kind of guy. But
yeah.
So I mean, the short of it, I was born and raised in Newark, New Jersey. I come from a decent household, very humbling household, little sheltered as well.
Yeah.
I admitted that the other day. I was like, you know what, that's just who I am.
Yeah.
So I couldn't go places. I didn't have all the finest things growing up.
Yeah.
We had one car, and it was a 2-door car. I don't know where people got this sedan thing or SUV. That wasn't happening.
Well, I can relate because I grew up in the Bronx. Same thing.
Okay.
We had a 2-door car, one car, and my father had always keep moving it around the street, so we didn't get a ticket. We used to watch him from a third story walk up. We used to sit out the window watching Dad move the car around.
Nice.
So I can relate a little bit to that lifestyle.
It's simple, man. So yeah, I just really love people. I feel lately I've been drawn, like I stated a little bit in the email, I've been drawn to more of my calling lately. Just hearing people see how they are, see how I can help through my own story or my own experience. How I went from not believing in Christ to a believer, and that is a big difference, and that is really the biggest difference maker really in my life. But right now, as far as what I do, it's so funny if this makes sense.
Please.
Now. When we first was going to start or join, the reason why I couldn't really do this time is because I had a job.
Yeah.
At the time I was, I love cars. I love design. I was a real estate agent for a while. The last 4 or 5 years, I've been a stay-at-home dad, which really changed my life as well.
Fantastic.
But the reason why I can talk to you right now before I go pick up the kids is because I don't.
And that's what I loved about when I kept talking back and forth with you. It was like, hey, George, I can't do it today. I got the kids. I got life. I got ambitions to handle. I'll get back to you later. And I kind of really love that about you, because it was like being so honest. They say, hey, this is what it is. Man. I'm busy. I'm cooking dinner tonight. And I really respect that from being a father of 2 sons. And this podcast really is a lot about them. I brought them up to dream, believe, and never give up. And that's how this podcast really got started, from my 2 sons, who both grew up to be really cool guys. And I always tell people, and you already know this, but they say, well, how'd they become so successful? I said, because I just gave them a lot of love, just loved them a lot. And I can already see you got that part figured out. You know what I mean? It ain't money. It ain't these things. It's just a hug before you go to school. Tell them I love you. And I tell you something, I have one son that graduated Harvard, and the other one is a pediatric doctor of oncology at a hospital in Portland, Oregon, and they both, they both followed their dreams. And I told them it's not going to be easy. And, but you got to have a dream, believe in yourself, and never give up. That's like, don't ever let anybody tell you you can't do it. And, and you are like what Dream Believe is all about, like all the basics to get to those ways, So I saw that, does your daughter play violin? Did I see that in one of the photos?
So she's been doing violin in school. And she's very interested, and continuing afterwards. So I said, okay, that's going to be an investment in your future. And say, I really like it. I enjoy it. And it's so amazing how kids are. When my son hears a violin now,
right,
he recognizes it because he knows that his sister is into it. And he's like, Mia, look, I can hear a violin in this song or whatever. We went to Lion King over the weekend.
Awesome, yeah.
My family from Georgia, my aunt and uncle, they hosted us and hooked us up. One night stay in New York and all that. So we're to have that opportunity, and that show is amazing, by the way. But he was hearing the instruments and the theatrics, and he was like, wow. And they both were just so overwhelmed in a good way, like, wow, this exists.
And I can do that.
I can do that, right? Being a part of that. Being there with them is really amazing to see how they are coming to life. But that's a really good point. I'm very upfront and honest in general. So I thank God for that, and that's how I am with our kids and my wife. And we tell our daughter all the time that you don't have to do what we want you to do. So the doors are open. You can do whatever you want.
Right.
And as long as you're really into it and be honest about it.
Yeah.
And she's 9 now, but she's smart. She can take it away. She understands it at this age, and now she's just flourishing in her schooling, her activities. She's in soccer.
That's cool, because I guess our job as parents is really just to give them all the opportunity and just show them all the options.
Right.
I mean, and then let them decide what they're going to do and how they do it. And it's such, and I always say that my biggest accomplishment in my life was raising my 2 boys.
Yeah.
There's nothing you can do financially or success or business wise or whatever that is ever going to mean more to you than that, So seeing those pictures of the kids, I just really enjoyed it. And I appreciate that. And it says a lot about, like, the reason why we're doing this interview with you today is it says a lot about a person when they're willing to put themselves out there to inspire other people.
Yeah. Yes, for sure.
And that's what you're willing to do. I mean, not everybody can do that. Not everybody has the chutzpah or whatever, and and that's okay. But it's really cool to see somebody like yourself, that is willing to put yourself out there, show your life, inspire other people to do better. And so what are some of your dreams and goals? Tell me, share some of that with me.
Sure. So here lately, to be honest with you, I don't know, maybe your audience can relate.
Yeah.
So I've been there and done that kind of guy. I'm only 39. I'll be 40 this year in October. But I've been there and done that. I did a lot of sales. I worked for Bank of America, which was one of my biggest jobs.
Yeah.
My first job was when I was 14 years old. I worked in a bakery over the summer with my dad, which I can never forget. And I still drive over there sometimes, kind of see where that bakery used to be at.
Yeah.
So I love working. I love transactions, I love people in a way, like I stated, so, coming from that kind of background of sales and just working and all that, my dream right now, George, really is just to use my gifts, which I'm coming to a better understanding of, is communication.
Yep.
And seeing where that takes me. Maybe it's something like this,
Yes.
Maybe it's something, on a larger platform, larger scale, maybe with the company. I don't know. But the biggest part is really what you stated too, is just really see our kids, successful, grow.
Well, that's such a cool thing that you get to do. Like, I wish I was home. I traveled a lot when my kids were young. I was always on the road and doing things, and I just was home, only home short. I wish I, it was the other way around, because that's such a gift, to have the opportunity to be with them every day and take care of them, and so now I can't get a word in edgewise or get a hold of them.
And that's funny, because I think maybe that's what I'm heading against, right? because I don't want that. I mean, or I know that's going to come because, you know, I was 25 too. Well, you know, you were too.
Yeah.
Like, all right, dad, you know,
Yeah.
I had that connection with them at the time.
Yeah.
So it's like, I'm absorbing all of this while I can. And we are blessed. You know, my wife is very successful, you know, VP of her company, with the pharmaceutical media. So, you know, I'm going to continue to do something.
Yeah.
And other things too, George. I'm getting into the cryptocurrency space. I have some investments there. You know, I can go get my real estate license. I'm very more open and connected to, you know, the natural ability that I have. You know, what that is, and what how can that take me to the next level? You know.
I think you're on the right path, because we wouldn't be having this conversation if you weren't. You know, I found something special in you that when I saw it, when Albie, we found you on social media, and then Albie, my social media guy, said, you got to check this guy out. And it reminded me of myself, like juggling life and the kids, and then also having other ambitions. And you know, it says a lot too, to be able to put some of your stuff on hold while your wife does what she does. So you can take care of the kids. And that's such a reality in our world. But I think that you know, I always say that when we step through that door to follow our dream, right? It's a lot of fear, but once we do it, doors open that we never expect are going to open. So like this conversation we have, and we'll stay in touch, because I want to stay in touch with you, and really, I you know, and it opens doors for other things, you know, that we don't even know yet, you know what I mean? So I think the fact of what you're doing and what you're doing online and inspiring people, and you've got people following you and interested, and you know, I think you're doing the right thing. I really think it's cool. I really do.
Thank God, man. I appreciate that. You know, on the other side too, George, I believed for a very long time that I was not good enough. I believed for a very long time, because my dad told me that a lot. Society told me that a lot. The jobs I lost, you know, the experiences that we go through, you kind of attach your identity to that, to those things. And because of that, you stay either in the rut, or you don't grow, you don't change, you become the spoiled person or whatever it is. And you're not, like you're saying, you're not in that reality in the way, because we all are different. We all have something to offer. We have something to give. And life will continue on. And sometimes we just in that disbelief, or in that belief of what someone told against us. And being home, really, when I first started this journey of being a stay-at-home dad, you know, I started to say, no, that was a lie the whole entire time. I'm not that person that, you know, and you won't see that come out of me, because that's not really who I am. And I love to share and express that whatever you thought you would be, you can be that, you know, and you don't have to be the normal, or you don't have to follow the trend. You know, sometimes I don't want to post on social media, you know, because I want it to be, you know, just for me. And I know people do that. But it's like, okay, but how can this help someone? Like eating healthy, working out, you know, sharing. I do hear this a lot from people that I know. I love how you love your wife online. That's not, you know, that's not so popular. And it's true. Like, I think like over 30 million people or something like that get divorced a year. It's some crazy. And like divorce is so popular. I'm like, oh my gosh, like, but I don't do it for attention too.
No, you know? I know that.
You know, and I hope that people, you know, make sure they're in a good place, health-wise, mentally, physically, to do what they need to do, or what they believe in dreaming to do, and not seeking that gratification of someone else. You know, if you're waiting for someone to say thank you all the time, or you look pretty all the time, and then you don't get it, that can hurt just as much.
Well, you know, it takes so much courage to do what you're doing and to say what you're saying. It really does. I mean, you're not just a stay-at-home dad. You got a lot of skills and a lot of ability, and I can see that already. And you know what's so cool about life is the blocks fall in place. if you just trust and let them. And that's like exactly what you're doing. You're just like saying, I know who I am. I'm getting, and that's, I'm getting that better every day. But you trusting yourself and you're doing what's important for you in your life, and you're sharing it with other people, which is like so huge. And like I said, my hat's off to you, man. I appreciate
that. This is great.
yeah. And I, when I started this podcast, my dream was to get it to a point where I had the listeners wanting to share their stories, and now I'm overwhelmed with people wanting to do it.
That's so cool. Yeah.
And it's so neat because you inspire other people. And that's what I wanted this to be. I wanted our listeners to be inspiring each other through their stories, and through like just what you explained. Like, just, I'm going through my day every day. This is what I'm doing. I mean, that's an inspiration. And when people go to check you out on Instagram at Israel Edmonds Jr., they'll find it. The pictures are just cool and they're just inspirational. And they really, I enjoyed, and anyone who does will definitely enjoy it and get what I'm saying, So,
yeah, sure. I appreciate that. Yeah. I do love it. And this is really on time. I'm telling you, man. Like, and if to those out there, like, I literally got fired from my job almost 2 weeks ago to the date. Not sure why really, but I was upset. I was angry.
Of course.
The biggest part was I wasn't really angry at myself. I was just angry because I wanted to know like why and this and that, and I didn't really believe again.
Right.
Never the reason was that they said why.
Right.
But now, it took a couple of days, but I was like, you know what? This is a sign from the Lord that this is not for you. And a lot of encouragement from my friends, my in-laws, my wife, even my kids. So this is the thing, right? So like we are building our kids up, but we're thinking like, oh, they're going to use this later on. Right. No, they use it now. They're 5 and 9. Like, Daddy, it's okay. I love you. Well, now you come pick us up from school, and
So look, so how cool is that? I mean, that you like overlooked that stuff in your life and just said, I know who I am. I know what I'm doing.
Oh, man, self-awareness, man, patience. Really, if you're a believer, like really connecting back to that, it's a lot. And the thing is that we all can do that. We can do that today. Like, we can be a difference for ourselves and for those around us. And it's like, you'll be surprised what will happen. And one, how free you will be. Like, I feel like so much freedom.
That's right.
Today.
Right.
And I can't wait to see what's next.
And also giving you the opportunity, like you and I, to find each other, and now having you here.
Even this is. I told my wife was excited about it. She like busy, and I'm like, I got the thing. She's like, oh my God, like she came out over. She's like, I'm excited for your interview.
It's cool.
Okay.
And I'll tell you, and we are so happy to have you. I want to tell you, I'm honored to have you on and have you share your story and be upfront and honest, and how much you will inspire other people by this conversation. So it's really so cool. I just, I want to thank you so much.
A great platform. How long have you guys been doing it for? Like,
about 8 or 9 months. 8 or 9 months, And we went slow, we built it slow, and we're, now we're getting more and more followers all the time. And it's been really an exciting journey. And like I said, for me to finally have enough followers that we have people wanting to come share their stories, it's just like so cool. And that's what it was all about for me, to have our listeners inspire each other, I had this
that's huge, George. You don't see that a lot. Everyone wants to be the man or the woman in the way, and not really put on anyone else, The other thing too is that I just got inspired by you, is that you started, how people don't start. They need all of that, and all they need is just to do it. Get on camera. And that's awesome.
It's true. When I started, I was afraid. I was like, I have this idea, dream, believe the thing where I brought my kids up, but I just put myself out there, and we built a website, and we started talking, and we got some people on, and the next thing you know, the thing starts to catch on, and then we have, now I'm at the point now where the show is really going to become about the listeners. All the interviews I do are going to be about us all inspiring each other.
Nice.
So you're one of the first through the gate. So I'm excited. Yeah. So so it's really cool. So I want to thank you so much for being on today and sharing this story. It's been fantastic. If you want to leave us with one thought or bit of advice for people, what would you say?
I would say really be honest and true to yourself, no matter what that is or what that looks like. And if you are strong enough to do it and healthy enough to continue, share whatever that is with the world, because helping others will push you further on in your career. You'll get brighter, better, stronger, faster when you're doing things with others, like this podcast or anything else that you have a dream or you believe to be in. So be yourself, and you'll see a difference when you also being yourself and sharing that with others.
That's fantastic. You're an amazing guy. You are. Awesome. I really have. You're welcome. You're welcome. You really have. You really inspired me, and it's cool. It's really good. We'll have to definitely keep in touch. And,
for sure. Let's do it again.
Definitely do it again. So let's just let you know, we'll put this up on our website. So we'll grab a headshot from you, or if you want to send one to us, and then with a short bio of yourself, and we'll put that up on our website and then up on our social media and all that. It takes about a week or so, but we'll put you in the club. In the ordinary,
I'm happy about this.
You got it, man. No, I'm happy too. I'm so glad we had this opportunity. All right, man. Keep in touch. Thank you so much. All right, man. God bless.
Be good. Bye-bye. God bless you.
Be good. Bye.